Well, hello, Las Vegas. It is Monique Buchanan, the host of the Welcome Home with Monique show, and I have yet again another good show for you today. Listen, guys, we're going to take it on back to the basics, okay? Because, sometimes we have to break up myths that are out there when it comes to purchasing homes. A lot of people have these unfortunate myths that they've heard. You know what I mean? For one thing, I want to break up one thing real quick before we even get started with that. I want to break up this whole thing that everybody keeps saying, oh, it's not a good time to purchase a house right now. Listen, when you hear big banks investing $50 million into purchasing residential properties, I would think that it's probably a good time for you to snatch up your property as well, right? Right. So that's what's going on, you guys. Just like Warren Buffett said, when there's blood in the streets, it's time to, there's money to be made. And there's not blood in the streets, but listen, there's great deals in the streets right now. So that's what I'm doing. I am educating as much as I can my listeners and my fellow friends and family, letting them know, don't listen to that. It is a great time to buy right now. A phenomenal time. People are like, oh, well, you know what? I think the prices are going to go down. Why would you think the prices are going to go down? We are projected to have 50 million more people move into Las Vegas within the next 10 years or so. Why would the prices go down? We also are looking at having Sony Pictures and Howard Hughes. They've already broke ground on a studio. We're going to have a little Hollywood here soon. Our city is thriving and growing. Our prices, as far as I think, are not going to come down. They're actually going to go up, especially if you're one of those people that are thinking that you're going to wait until the interest rates come down. Guess what? You're not in that boat alone. Everybody's thinking that. So when those interest rates do come down, and they are projected to come down within the next 18 months, you will be one of millions trying to hurry up and buy. But guess what? Just like I always kind of correlate it to the Black Friday sale, you're going to be stuck with getting whatever's left over. You're going to overpay for it because now you have competition, right? You'll have no wiggle room with the seller. They don't have to. So that's what I'm telling you guys right now. Let me get you with my lender and do what we've been doing with the majority of our buyers right now, which is doing a buy down. I am able to negotiate closing cost. Listen, I had 7 escrows. Right now, I'm closing 7 escrows. All of them got closing costs, you guys. So closing costs, I can take that money and have my lender buy down my clients' rates. That's why it's imperative that you have a realtor that is good with negotiation and that is educated in the current market. Okay, like I've told you guys before, there's 15,000 realtors. There's many realtors out there. Everybody has their license, okay? Doesn't necessarily mean that they're an expertise or know the current market, because you can have your license and let it sit for many years and not close a deal. Did you know, we'll start with this, that the average realtor only closes 3 to 4 deals a year? You guys, I have already closed over 30 properties just this year, okay? And I have a team. They also close properties. So unless your realtor is working and actually closing deals within that year, like they're actually active, that's how they know what's going on, because this market changes it can change within a couple weeks. It can change. We know that, right? As soon as the feds raised the rates last year, what happened? The market slowed down tremendously. But if you haven't sold a home, and you don't know that, then you're over here, offering extra money for your buyer when you don't need to, because you don't realize that the market has taken a shift even within 1 month, because you're not actively in the market. That's why it's imperative that you have a realtor that is active, that is selling properties. Don't ask a realtor, how long have you had your license, or how long have you been a realtor? That's not a good question to ask. Instead, you want to say, how many deals have you closed within this year? That will let you know just how active that realtor is. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump on into the show, you guys. Real quick, did you know that if you have been renting your property for the past 3 years, you are considered a first-time home buyer? Does not matter that you purchased property years ago. If you have been renting within the last 3 years, you are considered a first-time home buyer. That is monumental for you, because now you only have to put down 3.5%. That's right. The only people that have to put down 20%, you guys, are investors. Or if they don't have, like Social Security numbers, sometimes they have to put down 20%. But you do not have to do that. The reason people say or want to do 20% besides being an investor or besides not having a social, is because they're trying to do, or trying to get rid of, I should say, what's called mortgage insurance premium or PMI. So what that is usually a couple extra $100 on your payment per month, because whenever you don't put 20% down, you must insure your own loan, basically. You've got to pay for that. So here's a little tidbit for you. You don't need to do that out the gate. You can, if you have the funds, by all means do it. But if you don't have the money, don't worry about it. Put the 3.5% down. And then in a couple of years, when your property has gained 20% interest, you can then drop that same PMI. Okay, so let me give you an example. I sell you a house today at $400,000. All right. In a couple of years, the property is now worth $480,000. Guess what? Make a phone call. Get an appraiser out there if you're conventional and get rid of that extra $300 a month. Just that simple. So you don't have to come up with $70, $80, $100,000, out the gate. You can just go ahead and start with the 3.5%. Let me give you a story, actually, a true story. I was in escrow and I sold a property to one of my clients. That was November of 2021. He bought a brand new house with me. We bought a beautiful brand new Richmond home. And by the time he got keys, which was in April of 2022, his home had already appreciated 20%, you guys. And what did he do? Bought the house at 3.5% down. And then when he got the property, he went ahead, paid the $500 for an appraiser to come out. And now his payment went from, at the time, $1,800 all the way down to $1,500. That was his mortgage because he gained the 20% equity while he was waiting for that brand new home to go ahead and be built. So you don't have to put 20% down as a point of this conversation. All right. Did you know that you could have multiple people on the loan? So if you've got mom, dad, son and husband, or son and husband or whatever. Yeah, son and husband or son and wife, whatever. Multiple people can be on the loan, you guys. So keep that in mind. It does not have to just be two people or one person. So that's something else I want you guys to know. All right. So you can rent out your current property. If you already own a property, that's what I'm doing right now. I just actually shouts out to Miss Rolina Winbush. Congratulations. I just sold the property that I sold her a couple years ago. It was her first home. We sold that. And then she moved into a much bigger home with a pool and the works. Okay. We just sold that property and I just closed on her house yesterday for her new home. So she's so excited. I'm so excited for her. Congratulations. All right. So listen, that's something you can do. You don't have to sell. If you don't want to sell it, you can build your portfolio, rent it out, right? Average rent is $2,400 a month for a regular house, right? Rent it out. Go ahead and put 3.5% down on the next house, or even 3%. You could put as little as 3% down on the next property, you guys. And did you know the down payment grants that we have and that we utilize? You don't have to be a first-time home buyer. I can sell the property you're in right now. Let's say you just bought it and you're not going to make that much money on the property. So you still need some money to buy another property. We can do that. I can close the deal, sell your property, and then we can move on and use a grant for the down payment on the next property. So there's so many things, that you can do. If you have an educated realtor and a team like I do, a lending team that's out of this world. You guys have heard him before on the show. A lending team that knows how to do these deals. It can happen. If you are a business owner, you can also purchase a property with my lender. He can walk you through this. You don't have to, if you're having tax issues or you haven't filed your taxes, you can do a P&L statement loan. Okay. So we can go off your P&L, your profit and loss. Or if you are a bartender, you're making killer money, but obviously a lot of that money is not on paper. I can assist you. Listen, I used to be in the service industry. I used to bartend. I used to be a cocktail waitress at the Suncoast, the Orleans. All right. So yeah, shouts out to my service industry workers. We can get you into a home, you guys. I know how to do it. Me and my team, we know how to do it. And that's near and dear to me because obviously I used to be in that business. So we can assist you. We can do bank statement loans. So start putting some of those tips into your bank. But I can walk you through that with my lender, okay? And just for all of you that don't know, I am a realtor, okay? So the way things go is when you call me, I'm happy to assist you, give you answers, help you out, get you to homeownership. But, I am a realtor. I will represent you on the real estate side. So I'm going to ask you, hey, are you working with a realtor right now? I don't step on my colleagues' toes, I'm not into that. So if you're working with a realtor right now, you can take what I'm telling you and go on back to your realtor and say, hey, what about this? I heard this on Monique Buchanan's show. Can you do this? So, hey, there you go. But if you do not have a realtor that you're working with, 702-984-3700. 702-984-3700. If you're just tuning in, I am Monique Buchanan, your local Las Vegas realtor. I list properties and I will help you purchase a property. Okay, so now let me jump right back in and then we're going to wrap this up. I also want to talk to my veterans out there. Listen, don't sit on that benefit. Put it to work. Even if you say, well, Monique, I'm going to be, I'm probably not going to be here for maybe a year. Let's go ahead and make equity for that year instead of renting and walking away with hopefully a security deposit. Don't walk away with a security deposit of $2,000 when you could walk away with equity all the way up to $200,000, right? And take that wherever you're going. So veterans, did you know that you get a tax break? All right, a tax break when you purchase. In many cases, you will get a tax break. So when you buy a brand new home or any home, your payment's going to be a lot less than the normal folks. All right, we want to say thank you for your service. Also, there's no limit on how much you can purchase as a veteran. You do not have to have top tier credit as a veteran. Even if you have a 600 credit score, we can assist you. All right, I have a team. You can make multiple purchases with your benefit, not only once. Okay, so listen, I am your resource. If you have questions, I'd love to help you. Me and my team, we are here to assist. Once again, I'm going to drop that number for you. Don't worry, I say at the end of every one of my shows, 702-984-3700. This is your homegirl, Monique Buchanan. Okay, guys, we're going to pivot a little bit because it's that time. You guys know that I like to bring on a nonprofit, and give back and highlight, I should say, those who are giving back to our community. And I would like to introduce you to Miss Ainalam Getnahun. I have personally witnessed the way they have changed lives and just helped so many people over that 10-year span. She originally started the nonprofit. It all came about when she opened up her beauty supply store and was the only one in the valley that went ahead and made a private wig room for her cancer patients. Okay, so that just shows you, like, she has just a heart for people. I know her personally. She is one of my best friends. Love her dearly. We've been best friends for over 20 years. And she's always been like that, you guys. Even when we were in our 20s and I was over there shaking a tail feather, she was saving all her money to try to help people. She brought her entire family over from Africa, Ethiopia. And let me stop talking about you. I guess I could let you tell your own story. Hello, Ainalam Getnahun.
Hi, Monique. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, listen, let me go ahead and continue to brag on you. Do you mind if I tell them a little bit about you?
Don't mind.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead because I've got plenty to say because I know it's true. So when we were in our 20s, you guys, like I said, I was young. I was doing my thing like a lot of y'all were too. Don't look at me crazy. I was shaking a tail feather in the clubs and having a good old time. Well, Aini was, we used to do cocktails together. And Aini, I remember she would save her money and she would not spend her money and she would pay for lawyers for her family to come over. She did it, got them over here from Ethiopia. Every one of her family members she brought over on her own dime. And I remember she was the first one to introduce me into real estate because even when we were 20, 21, 22, she bought her first condo over in Summerlin. I remember this, Aini. And that condo is the reason that her mother ended up living this. Her mother got very sick and she sold that condo. And that is what gave her the means to put her entire family up in India. And I know we're getting a little off track, but I just want to tell them who you really are. So she took that money that she made from her equity in the condo. How much was it, Aini? Like $200,000, I believe. What did you make off that condo, your first property?
It was over 100,000.
Over 100,000.
Over 100,000.
And I remember she put her family up in New Delhi because her mother was sick and needed help, and Ethiopia did not have the means. So she had to take her entire family and put them up for a whole year over in India, in New Delhi. And she did that and had the means because she used her equity that she sold her condo. And so that equity saved her mother's life. Am I right, Aini?
Yeah, thank you, honey. I really appreciate you supporting me, just all these years and praying and just being there by my side. And just, you've been like the sister that, everyone, will like to have. So
Yeah, I always
that.
tell you that. Listen, listen. I ain't gonna say your year, but in Africa, when you were born as my sister. So, and I'm proud to call you my sister. I've witnessed your beautiful heart all these years. But anyways, you shut down the beauty supply store because your passion was in giving and assisting. I mean, it like took over your whole life. I know you were just so honed in. I remember at one point you were giving your own money from the beauty supply store into the nonprofit, right? And you decided to, hey, you know what? This is where my passion is. And you shut down the Hollywood Hair and Beauty and started Angels of Las Vegas, your nonprofit, right?
Yep.
Yep. And that was a big deal because listen, you were making a pretty penny selling, hair and beauty supply, right?
I know. You know what? The business was, that was always been my dream to do business. And as I go on, my god sister was going through cancer and I always wanted to do business. And when I went to a beauty supply store, I couldn't find private wig room. And I was like, wow, it's like take it or leave it, So that's what drives me. I've never thought about opening a nonprofit. I opened up the beauty supply store. I was in the same shop since then I was with Angie Coleman. I was like, okay, you know what? I can give, I can do all those things. And as I go on, start giving the wigs and I want to do more. And my god sister was in the remission. And when she passed away, it was just like, oh my God, so I wanted to do more.
Yeah,
we started doing the toy drive, always community events. We used to feed people and just having so many community events in front of the store. But after doing it 10 years, I got so involved and, I said, my heart is no matter how much money I make. And just like when I'm happy is during the holiday time when we do a toy drive. Yeah. Going to the hospital, giving a toy and, doing the food and everything. That's just what makes me happy. Just hard to explain. I say, you know what? You actually the one. We sat down. I said, Mo, I just lost my passion in the store for 12 years. They're like, Aini, move on. Just shut down and just remember. Yeah. And I have
go where your heart is.
So that's what I did, and I never look back.
That's right. And you know what? You just reminded me. That's right. Your sister. So your sister, unfortunately, was fighting cancer, and you guys. I remember you telling me you guys were going around to beauty supply stores, and it was like, you can't even hardly try the wig on. You got to take it or leave it. But this is a major thing for people that are fighting this. They, to feel good about how you look. I believe that's self-healing. So you took that to heart and you said, you know what? When I open my beauty supply store, I'm going to have a wig room for my, for cancer survivors and patients or people that are fighting cancer to have a place private to try on their wigs. And you did that. I remember the news channels came and it was so special. And you're right. That was always your goal. I know that you were making great money, but that's not really, that's not where your passion was. It's not about the money. It's about when you lay down at night, how do you feel, and you feel really good when you know that you're making a difference. And so anyways, Angels of Las Vegas, you guys have got a lot going on over there. If you guys are interested, it's Angels of Las Vegas LV or .org, right? Is that the website? Where can they reach you?
Angelsoflv.org.
Angelsoflv.org.
Yes. And our phone number is 1-800-214-9648. 800-214-9648. Now you're looking for volunteers as well, right? Yes, we are looking for volunteers. Our food pantry actually every single week on Tuesday from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. That's when our food truck comes in. We're looking for volunteers to organize, unload, organize the food. And from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m., we service the community. We service over 450 individuals weekly. So we're looking for volunteers to come and help out.
That's awesome. Now, you said that was when? Tuesday? When? Every Tuesday?
Every Tuesday, yes.
And it was from 12 to 5 p.m.?
from 12 to 5 p.m. Yes.
What is your address? So in other words, now they don't have to be battling cancer. Is that correct? If they want to just come over and, get some extra food for the house, they can do so?
Yes, they can. If they need the food, they can come in, and there's a process. They have to come in with a Nevada driving license. They do the intake form.
Okay.
After that, we can always text them and let them know. We always remind them weekly to come in and pick up the food.
Oh, good. And you know what? I've been to your pantry. I just was there, 2 weeks ago? And, you got a great thing going. And let me tell you something. That was some awesome food. I mean, my husband was happy when I brought him home those loaf cakes it looked like it was from Sam's Club, the loaf cakes. And you even you're the only pantry that gives out meat. Is that right? The frozen meat?
Absolutely. Yeah,
that's amazing.
We give meat, we have chicken, and every week is different. So whatever we've been blessed with, and we partner with Sam's Club, we big agency partner with Three Squares. So we're very grateful for our community partner with Albertson, Vons,
yes,
Sam's Club, and Walmart. So we just if it wasn't for our community partners, we wouldn't be where we are right now. So we're very, very grateful for the growth of our organization, where it was and where we are right now. Our new location. So the address is 2355 Red Rock Street. We are in Suite 103, and our zip code is 89146.
That's awesome. So once again, guys, if you're just tuning in, this is Monique Buchanan with the Welcome Home Show. Typically, I talk real estate, but I also always bring on my nonprofit partners and let them go ahead and, tell what they do for our community. So we've got Angels of Las Vegas on right now with my Miss Ainalam Workne Getnahoon, and she is just letting you know that she has a food pantry every Tuesday from 12 noon to 5 p.m. That address is 2355 Red Rock Street, 103. But if you forget or you can't remember the address or you're driving, you can simply Google Angels of Las Vegas and all the information will pop up, okay? Her website, all of that. So Angels of Las Vegas is on right now. And I'm glad that you brought up your sponsors, because you also have a lawyer. He's been great sponsor for you, and I've been witness to him. His heart is so genuine, and I want you to please go ahead and give him a shout out. And who he is and all of that. Give him a shout out. He deserves it. He's been backing you for years.
Oh my God, yes. Ken R. Ashworth. He's a tax attorney. He does probate. He does retirement, trust, and will, estate planning. He's the most amazing man that, he's the first person that could give us $15,000 years and years ago. And that's how that the organization, it was able to expand and do more and more. Yes. So he's been with us through thick and thin, and he's one of the most amazing men, and he just cares about the community so much. And every year, even now, he is our title sponsor for our golf tournament, which is happening in September 29.
Okay, so where is the golf tournament? And tell us a little bit about that really fast, the golf tournament. Beer's Best?
Yeah, so this is going to be the third annual Angels on the Green. It's a charity golf tournament. It is in Beer's Best Golf Course. And we just need a player. We're looking for even sponsors. We're looking for a few sponsors. We did have a few spots available. So if anyone would like to sponsor a hole, it's $1,000 for the whole sponsorship. And then we do have some spot for registration as well. So all the information is in our website. And we're also doing the lunch. So if somebody doesn't want to come for the golf, but they can also come to have lunch with us. The lunch is $75 per person.
Perfect. So that's awesome. So if you're looking to go play a little golf and for a great cause, Beer's Best, great golf course. That's September 29th. Mm-hmm. And you can jump on her website, which is www.angelsoflv.org. Or you can just simply Google, you guys, Angels of Las Vegas, and you will get in contact with none other than Miss Ainalam Getnahoon. Now, real quick, before we end this show, I want you to talk about who you've partnered with, Juice Plus, and kind of tell us the testimony. And it's helped your patients, right?
I got introduced to Juice Plus by our CFO, Warlicia. She's supposed to be in the show, but she wasn't. She's kind of busy right now to talk about it. about a few years ago, I was kind of losing my energy, and then she's like, "You got to take Juice Plus." So when I was on it, it's been about 4 or 5 years now. I feel my energy is. I felt like I'm 20 years old again, and it is fruits and vegetables, over 30 fruits and vegetables in capsule. And
so the vegetables
it
are
was just so amazing.
Let me tell them that, because that's something really, because you have that beautiful accent in case they didn't catch it. So it's not a vitamin. It is actually compressed vegetables and fruit in a capsule. So that's why it's so potent. You know what I mean? And now tell them about the patient that had a turnaround. Please. I mean, I'm so inspired by it.
Oh my God. So when I seen that, I mean, even during COVID, I never get sick. And like when I told you, and that's when I said, well, Lisa, why don't we just go ahead and put this in a care package and give it to our cancer patients? She's like, oh my God, that's amazing. Let's do it. So we raised money to buy to get the Juice Plus to be able to give it to the cancer patients. And they come in, they tell us, oh my God, my energy's back. I feel better, because when the chemo goes in, as much as it kills the cancer, it also kills the good cells as well.
Depletes.
So sometimes they don't have energy to eat. They don't want to eat, but it's even the capsule is plant-based, and it's amazing. They love it.
Plant-based,
Yeah. So that's Juice Plus, and we're going to put more information about Juice Plus on our website. But, if they wanted to email us, anybody wanted to know more about it, we definitely would like to educate the community about Juice Plus and be able to be a part of that, lifestyle. We're all about mind, body, and soul.
Right. So what is Warlicia's contact information for the Juice Plus? If somebody's listening and maybe they are, fighting something right now and they need that boost, how can they contact Warlicia to go ahead and get an order of the Juice Plus?
They can call her 215-740-7929.
Okay, so that number, if you're interested in getting this Juice Plus, now Aine's been using it in her organization that helps people that are fighting cancer, and she's gotten many a testimony saying that it's really working. So 215-740-7929. 215-740-7929. And that's for the Juice Plus, you guys. Now, listen, I want to thank you, Aine, for everything you do in this community. Your yearly toy drive that you do for the children that are battling cancer. I just love you, girl. I appreciate you. I know you're the real deal, and I know you're really doing it out there. So I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for listening to the show. Once again, I am Monique Buchanan, your local Las Vegas realtor, here to list properties for you or purchase them, help you to purchase investments, veterans, and first-time home buyers. I'm here to answer all questions. So until I hear from you, have a great weekend.